Welcome to the Direct Line, the official podcast for OADSP. We're excited to have you here with us today, and if you have comments, suggestions, or if you want to join us in studio as a guest, reach out to me at podcast@oadsp.org. I'm David Rustio with OADSP, and today we are talking with Mark.
Hello.
Hi, Mark. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. Hey, I've been in the industry for a very long time, probably 20, 25 years.
Okay.
It started as a DSP way back in the very beginning at Google Columbus. It's a great company, good organization. And I worked here at RAM for a couple different times in my career.
Okay.
It seems where I come back to. So I've been here and then gone off other places, and then I've come back here. It's a great company. RAM's a wonderful, wonderful company.
Well, tell us, we can get to some of the other things, but tell us what makes RAM, a place that you want to keep coming back to.
Yeah, I think it's I think that they are an innovator in some ways.
All right.
I think that they do a wonderful job with rights and how they focus on
Client rights you're talking about.
Yes, client rights and how they focus on the quality of services. I think that it's what I have seen over the decades is they've just continually seemed to improve, and they have a wonderful direction currently. Financial issues is a big deal for anyone or any company.
Absolutely.
And they've just worked really, really hard as far as recently increasing bonuses and pay, and do whatever they can to ensure they keep people here. I got to say, it's been a wonderful surprise. You never expect necessarily to have someone that financially focuses on making sure you're okay.
Sure.
And so that's come up a couple times, and I got to say, it's been a lifeblood. It's been extremely useful and helpful, and so they understand what the challenges are, what it is they need to, where they need to focus, and how do they keep and retain their staff. And they've done a beautiful job at that.
Okay. Well, I kind of interrupted you, so if you wanted to say a little more about your hobbies or your family or things like that, feel free.
Sure. I like to run. I'm a runner.
Okay.
That's really fun for me. I tend to run horse trails. This is more interesting.
Okay.
When, it's hard to just run around a block. We're in an area of Ohio where there's not a whole lot of hills and pretty landscaping per se. It's very flat. So I love to go down to Allen Creek. They have a nice horse trail there. Okay. Beautiful scenery. It's absolutely just a gorgeous place to go. So I go there and then I'll run around the horse trail for a while. Okay. And that's something that, like I said, I kind of look forward to that. That's my own personal reward to myself when I'm doing well. Yeah. Well, what else would you like to know? Well,
so you're a DSP. So
yes.
What is your favorite part of the job of being a DSP?
I like being invisible.
What do you mean by that? Talk to us about that.
What my role is to support the person that I'm with, right? And so in many different ways. Some ways are pretty clear, right? So we have clarity of you're helping people toileting and changing and eating, and all of those things are important. But I think it's the second, in my mind, the second tier goals, which are really the most important. This person is equal to me. Okay. I am here to provide a service, but I am not better than. Do not walk in front of somebody, walk beside somebody. Is kind of something that I like to say. Okay. Is that that the less focus there's on me, then I'm probably doing my job better.
Right. Okay.
That's kind of the hope. The hope is so. You want to put the person first and try to help them navigate what they're going through. And I believe helping people feel safe and cared about is extremely important. And so those are the main focuses that I try to keep my emphasis on. That they're safe with me. They don't have to worry about whether they're going to be. And safe can be many different things, right? It can be like I'm not worried that someone's going to make fun of me, or no one's going to talk down to me, or someone's not going to boss me or make me take a direction that I don't want to go in, unless it's a regular life choice, like you got to pay your electric bill, right? Right. I can't do anything about that. You just still got to pay your electric bill.
Right.
So I kind of think about how do I make myself almost unimportant that I'm a support that they almost don't see. And so if you, and that comes over time, that's something that you kind of learn to do and pick up along the way, but the less about me, the better, typically. So.
And we all know that DSP role is important.
Right.
But, sir, what we're doing, that's really the gift that gives back to allow people to live their best life, whatever that looks like.
Sure. Absolutely.
Do you have any fun or funny stories about someone you work with or someone you've served?
I have a lifetime of stories.
Okay. Well, we don't have too much of a limit, so have at it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, many different things. I have done different things, various things over the course of my career. One is I went on vacation in Nashville. I had two folks that I worked with.
Okay.
And they were romantically together.
Sure.
There was some significant medical challenges that we had to focus on, but they wanted to take a honeymoon.
Okay.
And that was important. Huge country fans. And so going to Nashville, the Grand Ole Opry and the Grand Ole Opry Hotel down there was a high priority for them. So that took a good bit of work to make that happen. So, but we had a great time. They got out there, and at the time there was some show that was, I don't know what it's called right offhand now, but they had a, like on television, you'd see the Wild Horse Saloon, I think is what it was.
Right.
And so we actually got to be out there dancing, I think, when they were making their show. So it was really a really fun time. And, it's just unique. I love to give people experiences that they might not typically always have the opportunity to do.
Right.
So something that's a little unique and challenging and focused on what they like to do.
That sounds like it was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a great time. I loved it. Absolutely. Yeah. And they had a great time too.
Good. So what might you say to somebody that you meet or that asks you about or is considering becoming a DSP? What might you say to those folks?
Be prepared. It's not going to be a financially overwhelmingly, you're not going to get rich doing the work. But there are many ways to be rich. And one of the ways is by providing supports. And I come back to helping people feel safe. I think that is just really, you are the moment in the system that you touch the people that are actually getting the services. So in that moment of delivery, I think is extremely important of how you present yourself. I think it makes a big difference.
It does. Yeah. And DSPs make the difference in lives every single day across the state, where you work, and across the nation.
And when I talk about rights, you are the person, in my mind, that you're not just, don't call yourself just a DSP.
Right.
You're there for many different reasons. But I think for one of the primary reasons is you make the system real to them. They're touching you, and you are part of that system. And so do they feel like their rights are being violated? Do they feel like their rights are being protected? Right. That you actually go that extra mile to ask the question and ensure that you are in their house. This is not your job. This is not your work. You're not at work. You're in their home. Right. And so making that real. That's up to you. You're the person to make that real. And so that they should keep that focus and don't let it. It's easy to start to I've worked with them for 20 years, and then you become part of a family, and that's true. But make sure that dynamic clearly states the power differential, that they're the ones with the power. And by the nature of your questions and how you ask, you shape the landscape of what they're going to experience. But that's extremely important. It's extremely important.
That's a great way to put it and to talk about what DSPs do.
Yeah, great.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank
you. Is there anything else you want to share before we go?
I'm doing great. I love what I do.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Okay, you too. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening, and join us next time on The Direct Line.